Back with another one. This is more of an interesting video here, but I gotta have a variety. This one puts a smile on my face. Let's get into it.
Tonight, the $1 million treasure found after a decade-long search, a chest believed to be filled with gold coins and jewelry unearthed in the Rocky Mountains.
That is what we want.
Deep within the earth and hidden from the eyes of the world, people made discoveries that were hard to believe.
There's some pieces of it.
What?
Gorgeous.
They found ancient treasures, strange artifacts, and whatnot. So, if you're curious to know about these incredible finds, tag along and get ready to be shocked.
Let's go.
Making vlogs in caves can sometimes take a strange turn, especially in ancient areas like this one. These YouTubers went for a quick visit to a cave when they stumbled upon something unexpected. In a dark corner, they found a strange metallic box. It had a star symbol on it, which caught their attention. Carefully, they took it to inspect further. When they opened the box, they discovered some unusual ornaments and a book of sorts inside. After taking a closer look at the items, they decided to place everything back where they found it. But the big question is, could these objects have belonged to the ancient people who once lived here, or did they hold a deeper meaning? I'll leave it to you to decide.
Would you put it back? That was funny.
Treasure trove. Metal detectors are pretty handy tools for any explorer, and here's a great example of that. A group of friends was out exploring the woods when their metal detector suddenly started beeping. It wasn't just a regular beep, it was one of those signals that meant something was buried in the ground. Curious, they started digging in the spot where the sound came from. As they dug, they uncovered a surprising find, a treasure box with a bunch of gold coins inside.
Oh, yeah.
But that wasn't all. There was also a large bag covered in dust, and inside it, they found golden bricks. It wasn't something they expected to find in the woods, but it was cool how a simple tool can lead to some unexpected discoveries. Gin Cave Treasure.
Sorry about that, but I think it's time to buy one of those tools. Yeah, man.
Exploring a cave that's rumored to have a djinn in it certainly takes some guts, and these men definitely had that. Despite the stories, they decided to go inside and see what they could find. As they explored deeper into the cave, they came across something strange, a large, unusual box buried in the ground. Curious, they carefully dug it out, wondering what could be inside. When they opened the box, they were surprised to find old pieces of gold. One looked like a small sword, and another seemed to be a crown. The items clearly looked ancient, and it made them think this could be some sort of treasure from long ago. Strange object.
Uh-oh.
While exploring, a man came across a cave with a hole covered in stones, as if someone had tried to hide it. Curious, he decided to take a closer look. Slowly, he began removing the stones one by one. Once he cleared the last of the stones, he found a container hidden inside. It was covered in dust, but he carefully opened it and discovered gold objects inside. There were a few strange items that seemed out of the ordinary. It was an interesting find, leaving him to wonder who might have left them there and why. Ancient necklace. This man was digging in a small, abandoned cave deep in the forest when he made an unexpected discovery. As he carefully dug through the dirt, his hands touched something unusual. It was a necklace, and it stood out because it looked like something from ancient times. The necklace had a unique design, with shapes and details that seemed to belong to a long-forgotten era. It wasn't something he had expected to find in such a place, and the discovery made him wonder who might have worn it and how it ended up buried in that cave.
You gotta definitely have like tools.
Gold statue. It's hard to imagine finding anything unusual in a cave that looks completely normal at first glance, but that's exactly what happened when a man decided to dig in one such cave. After digging around the area for a while, he made an unexpected discovery. To his surprise, he uncovered several golden skulls, each carefully placed in the ground, almost as if someone had hidden them there on purpose. The statues were well made, and the way they were arranged made him wonder about their history, and left him thinking about who might have put them there and why.
Look like a trap.
Strange ancient finds. Sometimes, places that seem completely normal can hide things far deeper than you might imagine. This is
Yeah.
exactly what happened to one man while he was digging in the ground of a forest. He was just exploring when, to his surprise, he unearthed something unexpected. As he carefully dug, he came across several items that looked like they belonged to another time. Upon closer inspection, he realized that these were ancient artifacts, pieces that had been used by the people who once lived in this very area more than 500 years ago. It was a fascinating discovery, telling him how even the most ordinary looking places can hold clues to the past.
A lot of money. Type of gold they don't have really anymore. You're a millionaire.
Treasure chamber. This man was out using his metal detector when he heard it make a sound, signaling that something was buried nearby. Following the signal, he found a cave with a very narrow opening. It wasn't easy, but he managed to squeeze inside, curious about what might be waiting for him. Once he was in, what he found was enough to surprise him. Lying in the cave was a skull, surrounded by various artifacts. The items
What?
appeared to be from an ancient time, and it seemed clear that they had belonged to someone important. The man
Wow.
believed that these treasures could only have belonged to a high noble or a king from the past, and he called it the King's Treasure. Hidden Gold Dragon.
It's amazing.
In ancient times, a golden dragon was considered a lucky artifact, often kept by nobles for good fortune. Now imagine stumbling upon one in today's world. That's exactly what happened to one man. While exploring, he came across a treasure that was beyond anything he expected. Buried in the ground was a dragon statue, made entirely of gold. The craftsmanship was incredible, and it was clear that this wasn't just any ordinary object. It was a remarkable find, reminding him of the ancient belief in the power of such treasures. The discovery left him amazed, wondering about the history behind it and how it had ended up in such an unexpected place.
Wow. That's amazing.
Hidden in box. The sound of a metal detector ringing is always a good sign for miners, and this miner was no different. While working in a cave, he heard the familiar beep of his detector. It seemed like there was something worth checking out, so he decided to dig in the area where the sound was coming from. After a bit of digging, he uncovered a small box. When he opened it, he found several gold plates inside. One of the
What?
plates was especially interesting because it had some ancient-looking symbols on it. It wasn't something he'd expected to find, but it was a nice surprise that made him wonder about the story behind these items. Treasure with snake.
That's different. He's like, yeah, we got it.
Do snakes really guard treasure in caves? This story makes you think that might just be true. One
Maybe.
day, a man was out with his metal detector, and it suddenly started ringing, so he started digging. As he got deeper, he was surprised to find a snake sitting on top of a golden object, almost as if it was guarding it. It felt like the snake was somehow watching over the treasure. He figured it was best to leave it undisturbed, knowing that some things might have a deeper meaning or purpose. So,
Would you leave it? I don't know. Kill the snake? Like the snake is running right now.
he decided not to push his luck and carefully stepped away, leaving the treasure where he found it.
Ooh, he left it.
Golden Cave. Finding gold in caves almost seems like a given, and here's why. One day, a man was exploring a cave. not expecting much more than the usual rocks and dirt. But as he carefully moved through the shadows, something shiny caught his eye. Brushing off the dust, he realized he was holding a small gold statue shaped like an animal. The details were surprising, almost as if someone had carefully placed it there ages ago. And just a little further, he spotted something else. A beautiful old hair ornament. It was an unexpected find, turning an ordinary day into one he wouldn't forget soon. Sometimes, even the quietest places hide a bit of treasure.
Jackpot.
Diamond in mine.
Oh.
Swipe. Oh, it's perfect tip.
This man made an unexpected discovery while exploring an old mine. As he was carefully checking the area, he noticed something shining in the dim light. Upon closer inspection, he realized it was a Herkimer diamond. These unique crystals are known for their clear, double-pointed shape and are often found in the Herkimer County region of New York. The man had stumbled upon a particularly large and valuable one. Herkimer diamonds are highly prized for their beauty and rarity, and this find was certainly an exciting surprise during what was supposed to be just another routine exploration.
Man,
Oh, it's
that's like
perfect
hitting the
tip.
lottery.
Golden mystery.
That's a nugget right there. Oh, wait.
This man was exploring a muddy area, not expecting to find much besides dirt and stones. But as he looked around, a small sparkle caught his eye through the mud. Curious, he brushed away some dirt. To his surprise, he uncovered a large, irregular-shaped object made of gold, partly buried, but still shining through the grime. It looked like it had been hidden there for a long time, with a rough shape that made it hard to tell exactly what it was. Slowly, he cleared more mud from around it, revealing more of its odd shape. Though he didn't know what he had found, he could tell it was something special. Carefully, he set it aside, pleased with his unexpected discovery, and wondered about the story behind this golden object.
That's a nice piece. What?
Treasure box. People often say there's nothing interesting left in dried up riverbeds, but one man found out otherwise. While he was out exploring, he spotted the edge of a box poking out of the sand, just enough to catch his attention. Curious, he decided to dig it up and see what was inside. When he
Right.
finally got it open, he was surprised to find a stone inside, with a subtle golden shine that made it stand out. It wasn't the kind of treasure you'd expect, but it was enough to make him wonder who might have left it there and why it was hidden in such a quiet place. Even the most unassuming
man.
spots can have their own little mysteries, just waiting for someone to stumble upon them.
That one brick, millionaire.
Cerro Gordo's treasure. An explorer was digging around in Cerro Gordo mine when he stumbled onto something surprising. As he chipped away at the rock, he noticed something heavier than usual. Clearing off the dust, he found himself holding a massive chunk of galena, about
Wow.
120 pounds of it. This was a rare find.
That is a very nice piece.
Galena, known for its lead and silver content, doesn't usually turn up in pieces this big. He looked it over, feeling the weight of his discovery and knowing he'd found something special. For him, this was a moment worth all the effort.
Wow, look at that.
Gold treasure. A man was out exploring a forest with his metal detector, not expecting much, when the device suddenly started beeping.
I gotta get me one. Come on.
Curious, he decided to dig a bit and soon noticed a faint golden shine beneath the sand. He kept going, and eventually, a large gold plate started to reveal itself. But what caught his attention even more was a big turtle calmly resting right on top of the plate. It
yeah.
looked like the turtle might have been hibernating, though it was a strange spot for that. Finding a turtle on a gold plate in the middle of the forest wasn't exactly something he'd planned on, but it was a small surprise that made his exploration a bit more interesting.
That's weird.
Diamond pocket. While exploring a private mine, the man's search took an unexpected turn. As he looked closely at the rocky walls, he spotted something unusual: a pocket of diamonds tightly packed into the rock. It was a surprising find, as he hadn't expected to come across something like that. Curious, the man tried to carefully remove the diamonds with his bare hands. It wasn't easy, but he was interested in seeing what he had found.
Wow.
The discovery was a pleasant surprise, and it made his exploration even more rewarding. Hidden treasure.
Money.
An elderly woman from the area guided a group of men to an archaeological site she knew. She told them stories of how different ancient civilizations once lived there, drawn to the land's fruits, flowing water, and peaceful views. The men started digging at a spot they hadn't seen before, not expecting much. But soon, they came across something that looked like hidden treasure. A strange, dark-colored statue. Maybe a piece from those old times. Soon, when they washed it up by spraying water on it, they realized that it was actually gold. It was a small but interesting find, making them wonder what else might still be hidden in the area.
You know, this type of thing is a hit and miss thing, you know what I mean? You got to keep trying until you actually find something. But trust me, when you find it, you're rich.
Statue in cave. Exploring caves with a metal detector is usually a good way to find something interesting. And for this guy, it was one of those lucky days. While he was scanning the rocky ground, he noticed a small hole that seemed a bit odd. Figuring it was worth a look, he dug around carefully and uncovered a little gold statue that looked almost like a bug. It wasn't very big, but the details were impressive, like it had been carefully crafted a long time ago. He wondered if it might have been made by people from an ancient culture, maybe as some kind of symbol or charm.
Solid gold?
Cave entrance surprise. Exploring caves isn't something most people expect will lead to treasure, but for one lucky man, it did. As he made his way into a quiet, hidden cave, he noticed something unusual scattered on the ground.
See?
Around an old, weathered vase, there were different pieces of jewelry lying in the dust. Bracelets, rings, and other small ornaments, each one with intricate designs. The jewelry looked old, like it might have belonged to people who lived there long ago. Seeing these pieces made him wonder about the past, about who might have worn them, and what life was like for those who once used this cave.
Yeah, I mean, you just
Crystal
walk
treasure.
in there. Oh, no. That's pretty.
As the man worked his way through the rocky cave, he didn't expect much beyond dirt and stones. But as he dug a bit deeper, something unexpected appeared. A soft glimmer catching the light from his lamp. Clearing away the last bits of mud, he realized the muddy cave walls were lined with crystals. One crystal, however, stood out. It was a pale purple stone with a gentle shine that set it apart. Thinking it might be worth something, he decided to keep it. He slipped it into his bag, making a note to examine it later and maybe learn what made this particular stone so unique.
That's pretty.
Gemstones. Walking slowly through the quiet cave, this man was hoping to find something interesting. He moved carefully, his eyes scanning the walls and corners, not expecting too much, but staying curious. Then, in a shadowed corner, he noticed a faint glint of green. As he got closer, he saw it was a cluster of small green crystals, nestled gently against the rough stone. They had a soft shine, different from the usual rocks. He carefully checked each one, making sure they were solid, then took a few of the crystals, placing them carefully in his bag. It wasn't exactly what he had come for, but he knew he'd found something a little out of the ordinary, an interesting discovery to look into later.
Wow.
Utah brother discovery.
Prove what it is, and then yeah, so rock.
In Washington City, two young brothers spent their fall break digging a hole on their neighbor's property just for fun. To their surprise, they ended up finding nearly 24 old bottles buried in the dirt, some even with liquid still inside. The bottles looked pretty old, maybe even over 100 years, and some people said they might hide treasure inside them. This made the find even more interesting to the boys. Curious to see what else might be hidden, they planned to keep digging. With their new bottle collection, the boys wondered what secrets might be waiting to be discovered underground.
They keep digging every Saturday. They keep coming out here and digging for a few hours.
I don't get it. I mean, you digging in your neighbor's yard, not your own? Come on, man.
Sapphire mining. Sapphire is a stone many people dream of having, known for its beautiful blue color and rarity. It's highly valued in jewelry and has been a prized gem for centuries. A man was out with his metal detector in Australia, hoping to find something interesting. As he scanned the ground, he noticed something unusual in the dirt. When he looked closer, he realized he had come across several raw sapphire stones. Their vibrant blue color made them easy to spot. Surprised by his luck, he carefully picked them up, pleased with the unexpected find.
It's amazing.
I've never found the source, actually where the sapphires come from.
Right.
Nevada opal stone.
There's some pieces of it.
Ooh, gorgeous.
Black fire. Opal was one of the rarest and most precious gems in the world. Its unique colors and beautiful shine made it highly sought after, and it was only found in 2 places on Earth: Virgin Valley, Nevada, and parts of Australia. During their opal mining expedition at the Royal Peacock Opal Mine in Denio, Nevada, these men set out to see what they could uncover.
I mean, I don't even know what that is. Never heard of it. So I probably wouldn't know what I'm looking for. So I just learned something.
As they carefully dug into the earth, they began to find pieces of opal, each one more stunning than the last. Some of the opals they discovered were worth thousands of dollars, thanks to their rare colors and quality, giving them an exciting experience, showing them just how special black fire opal truly was.
And it does have a little green in there.
Amethyst digging.
That's pretty. Look like Superman.
Who would have thought that beautiful purple stones, which only a few lucky people can find, would be hidden in the sand? Amethyst, a type of quartz, is known for its rich purple color and is considered rare and valuable. While exploring a private mine, one man was surprised to discover several amethyst stones hidden beneath the sand. As he cleared the dirt away, the deep purple stones started to appear. Finding amethyst is rare, especially in good size, so he knew this was a special discovery. He was surely lucky to come across such beautiful and valuable stones.
Trillionaire.
Finding turquoise.
Checking out these turquoise mines and finding some turquoise with me.
A woman returned to the area in Nevada where she'd spent her childhood, curious to see what she might find in those familiar sands. She didn't have high hopes, just a bit of curiosity. But as she dug through the sand, her fingers hit something hard and rough. When she pulled it up, she was surprised to find raw turquoise stones, the kind that aren't easy to come by. Turquoise had always been a big deal in Nevada, valued by explorers and miners for years. So finding it on her own, in the very place she'd grown up, felt almost like uncovering a small piece of treasure, hidden away by the land itself.
It's so beautiful.
I don't even know what that is. See what I'm saying?
Dragon remains.
What?
Dragons have always been part of myths and stories, but after hearing this, they might start to feel a little more real. While
Hold on.
exploring an abandoned cave, an adventurer noticed something strange. Large, egg-like shapes scattered around the ground. Curious, he decided to take a closer look, not sure what to expect.
crazy.
But what he found next was beyond anything he could have imagined. Deep in the cave, he came face to face with a creature that looked just like a
look at
dragon.
that.
Horns, scales, and all. It wasn't just a myth or fantasy anymore. The dragon charged at him. him with incredible speed, and he didn't hesitate for a second. He ran as fast as he could, barely escaping the cave in time.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't want to pause it, man, but that's a big
Neanderthal treasure. In
big
Brunikel
beast
Cave,
back
an
there.
unexpected discovery has changed our
y'all think?
understanding
That
of
was Cap?
early human history.
I don't think
Researchers
so.
found structures made from broken stalagmites, dating back around 176,000 years. This suggests that Neanderthals were capable of more complex planning and social organization than previously thought. The structures were carefully arranged, but their exact purpose remains a mystery. Some believe they could have been used for symbolic or ritualistic reasons, though the true motivation is still unknown. Catskill Crone. Two hikers found a creepy statue in a quiet cave, covered in nails and with a noose around its neck.
Oh,
they felt a
boy.
mix of curiosity and fear as they looked at it.
Yeah.
Despite the fear, they decided to take it home. But after that, strange things started happening. Odd noises at night, weird smells, and muddy footprints that appeared for no reason. This strange story, called the Catskill Crone, turned their lives upside down. Well, they probably should have just left the statue where they found it. Mayan artifact.
Whoa.
A recent archaeological discovery uncovered an impressive collection of Mayan artifacts hidden deep within a cave beneath an ancient Mayan city. It's believed to have been a sacred space, offering a rare insight into
Yo, I ain't gonna hold you. It sounds like some treasures are not meant to be found.
both the spiritual and everyday lives of the Mayan civilization. The find, buried for centuries, included finely crafted pottery, jade ornaments, ritual objects, and stone carvings, surprisingly well preserved. This discovery not only deepens our understanding of Mayan culture, but also raises questions about the purpose of these hidden treasures and the role this mysterious cave played in the ancient city. Dinosaur fossil. In southwest China's Yunnan province, 2 sets of dinosaur fossils were recently discovered, dating back more than 180 million years to the Jurassic period. The fossils provide an exciting glimpse into the distant past, showing the kinds of creatures that roamed the Earth long before humans ever appeared. The discovery is significant not only because of the age of the fossils, but also because it offers valuable information about the dinosaurs that lived in that region. Researchers are now carefully studying these fossils to learn more about how these ancient creatures lived and what the environment was like during the Jurassic period. Witch marks.
Here we've got a chamber which is absolutely covered in witch marks. The ceiling and all the walls. And what these are here for is in order to ward off evil of all sorts.
History has taught us a lot about the past, but sometimes it leaves us with more questions than answers. For example, what was once thought to be just graffiti has now turned out to be something much more mysterious. Witches' marks that date back hundreds of years. These markings were found inside caves at Creswell Crags, a limestone gorge on the border between Nottinghamshire and Derbyshire. For years, they were ignored. But now researchers believe they are protective symbols carved by superstitious people to keep evil spirits away. The intricate shapes and patterns were meant to trap or scare off
To keep evil spirits away? Man, that place look evil. You should stay away.
harmful forces. Pretty fascinating and a bit eerie, don't you think?
Particularly in times of poor harvest or disease, that the evil spirits would rise out of these depths, and the purpose of the marks was to trap them, preventing them from escaping into the outside world.
One-eyed mystery. While exploring a cave in Mexico, experts made a surprising discovery: the remains of a prehistoric giant. This time, it wasn't just any giant, but one with a single eye. What makes this find even more intriguing is the possibility that it could be linked to ancient legends of giants, and may even be connected to the giants seen in historical statues. The Solitude Caves, where the remains were found, are already known for their mysterious creatures and ancient relics. But this one-eyed giant adds a whole new layer to the mystery. Could there really be giant creatures lurking within? What do you think?
Cyclops.
Ancient skeletal remains. A group of scientists were out exploring the Canary Islands when their drone made an unexpected discovery. It uncovered a hidden tomb that contained 72 skeletal remains. The team certainly wasn't prepared for what they found. The remains were later identified as belonging to a lost, pre-Hispanic civilization. What made this discovery even more surprising was that the team, along with their drone, had originally set out on a different mission, a rescue operation. They never imagined they would stumble upon something as significant as this hidden tomb. Ancient structure. Sometimes, the most ordinary-looking structures can hide some of the most unexpected secrets. That was the case with this one. At first glance, it seemed like just a simple circular structure. Nothing special, but when it was carefully cracked open, an ancient artifact was discovered inside. The artifact featured a deep blue stone, a color that suggested it might have belonged to someone important, perhaps even a noble from the past. It was a surprising find, hidden away in what appeared to be a very ordinary place. This discovery gave a glimpse into the past, revealing that even the most unassuming objects can hold valuable pieces of history.
Amazing.
Flooded stairway. While exploring an abandoned mine, a bunch of people came across a stairway, which isn't unusual, but there was something different about this one. It was flooded. Yep, looked like something straight out of a Lord of the Rings movie. The water, of course, made it hard to explore the cave, but it was so clear that it made me want to dive right in. The curiosities are endless. What's inside? How did it get flooded? How is the water still so clear? Tell us, what are your theories regarding this flooded stairway? Secret chamber. A large egg-shaped rock stood about 10 feet high with a smooth surface that looked almost polished. It had an unusual, quiet presence to it. After an earthquake, the rock cracked open, revealing a door hidden inside. It had been there all along, carefully concealed. Curious locals explored the area and discovered a chamber inside. There were no markings or signs to explain when it was made or its purpose, leaving people to wonder about its history. It seemed more like a work of art than just a simple stone. It raised a lot of questions about when it had been built and why. Whispering caves.
What is that, wind?
An urban explorer went into an old, abandoned mine. At first, he explored the narrow tunnels without anything unusual happening. But then, he started hearing strange noises echoing through the mine. He thought it might just be the wind or distant birds at first. As he listened more closely, the sounds became clearer and more unsettling. Some thought the noises could be spirits trapped in the mine, while others wondered if there was another explanation. The sounds made the explorer feel uneasy, and he left the place as soon as he could.
What is that, wind?
That is what we want.
A group of friends decided to explore an old abandoned mine they had heard about. They didn't expect much, just a bit of adventure and maybe some interesting rocks. But when they stepped inside and shone their flashlights on the walls, they were in for a surprise. The entire walls were lined with gold, covered under layers of dust. It looked like they had found the richest vein in the mine, something most miners only dream of discovering. Excited, they started taking videos and pictures and carefully dug up a few small pieces to take back with them, knowing they had found something rare. And with that, see you next time.
There's a couple things on here that look like they could be gold. I think that might be a little bleb of gold right there.
I would have took certain treasures. You know what I mean? Certain things, you know, is worth a lot of money, but would you, or how would you handle it? You know what I mean? Certain things look like it wasn't worth taking. They did find a lot of valuable things. Just waiting. Until next time, Mr. Stocking Cap reacts, and we out.